Hey, I've said over and over and over that you cannot rely on people finding your show when they search for you. So I cringe every time I hear someone say, find me wherever you find podcasts, because search in these apps is not always great. And so what I want to do is show you an example in this case, and I'm not trying to pick on them, but this is Spotify. And so I'm working with someone. The name of their show is Home Pro Podcast. And so I'm going to go over to Spotify. In their search, we'll click on that. And come on, Spotify. Home Pro Podcast. And so I'm like, it's not really coming up. But I'll go over here to Podcast and Shows. And it's still not really there on the front page. And if I click on Show All, there are a ton of these, there's a fun one here as I scroll down, but I'm not seeing the Home Pro Podcast. This one I thought was funny. The Crappy Childhood Fairy. It's a great title. Makes me want to click on it. And so you get the idea. I'm way down here, and we're not seeing anything from our buddy Seth Evans. And so I'm like, well, if I know that the host is Seth Evans, I can do that. But if somebody just told me, oh, you got to go listen to this show, it's called Home Pro Podcast. And so I'm going to go back up here to the top, and we're going to get rid of that name just so I show you that I'm not crazy. And I'm going to type in the host, which is Seth Evans. And when I press enter and I go over to podcasts, there it is, the Home Pro Podcast. So when I say, don't say, find me wherever you find podcasts, and I say it's not going to work, in some cases, it does in some, but what you want to do is make a page on your website. I would suggest /follow and put links to Apple and Spotify, maybe Amazon, and any other apps that you want people to listen to. I do not recommend sending them to some sort of off service. So whether it's, I think there's one, episodes.fm, and there are a couple other that will make these kind of things for you. No, it takes 5 minutes. Get your links, get some buttons, put it on your website to reinforce your SEO and your brand. But for the love of God, this is why I keep telling you, do not say, find me wherever you find podcasts, because in many cases, it does not work.